Hello and welcome to the 52nd episode of the Coding Specs Python tutorial series. As you can see from the title, today's topic is partial functions. Before we dive in, I would recommend that you check out my tutorial on functions in case you missed it. As always, I've left the link to it in the top right-hand corner of your screen and in the video description. Now though, let's look at this function you see here. This is a simple multiplication function which takes two arguments, x and y, and returns the product. However, what if we wanted to create a second function which takes only one argument and multiplies it by 2? Well, we can do this two ways. The first would be to write a second function which explicitly does what we just said. The second is to use a partial function. Partial functions are still functions in their own right, but instead of being written out in full, are obtained by limiting the functionality of more general functions. So in this case, we'd write dbl, short for double, equals partial of multiply 2, and then we can say print dbl of 4. So what we've just done here is create a new function called dbl, short for double, by taking the multiply function and giving it a default first argument equal to 2. This way, when we call the dbl function in the second line and give it the value of 4 as an input, what we are actually doing is calling the multiply function and saying that its first input is always 2 and the second input is whatever value we've given the dbl function, in this case 4. So if we run our code, we of course get back the number 8, which is given by 4, the input of our dbl function, multiplied by 2, which is the default value given to the first argument of the multiply function. As a last test, we can try and call, on the right-hand side, dbl of 13 and dbl of 10. As you can see, the value is always twice the input of the function. Of course, the multiply function still works perfectly fine, and we can call it easily by saying multiply, for example 3, 10, and in this case, as you can see, we've multiplied the number 10 by 3, hence the result is 30. In general, therefore, we can say that partial functions are sub-functions which are derived from more general functions and rely on these to complete their task. Their number of inputs is of course smaller than that of the original function. Having said that, please don't forget to show your support by subscribing to the channel and checking out my other tutorials. Also, if you want to test your coding skills, then have a go at solving my Python coding challenges. I'll leave a link to them in the top right-hand corner of your screen and in the video description below. As always, I look forward to seeing you all next week for another exciting video. And until then, happy coding!